All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome into today's edition of In the Game. I am your host, Hustle, and as always, we're going to be diving into the markets. We're going to be diving into, well, we're seeing a little bit of green across the markets, but there are a couple of sectors we've been calling out on this show that have really been getting a lot of the shine and the limelight. We've seen Wilder World absolutely pump ever since they had kind of teased at something going on with Apple. We have one of the biggest sports game companies partnering with one of the top blockchains to potentially bridge the gap between Web2 games and Web3 games and microtransactions inside those games. This is one you don't want to miss. Definitely like the video and subscribe for more every single day here on Crypto Banter. And shout out to our sponsors as well. Bybit, one of the leading exchanges across all of crypto for all of your trading needs, down below. NordVPN as well. Always navigate safely and securely. I always run a VPN whenever I'm running through my crypto stuff. So use a VPN, NordVPN down below. Vulcan Forge, and as we see here, Vulcan Forge is up for vote for one of our other sponsors, Bybit here. So they could get a Bybit listing if they win this vote. So if you're a supporter of Vulcan Forge, definitely go hit that link. Shout out to Vulcan Forge. And last but not least, SinVerse, what truly looks to be the Grand Theft Auto of the Metaverse. And before we get into the bulk of the topics here, I always get asked, what Web3 games can I go play today? You know what I mean? Well, we have the Star Atlas Showroom 2.1 now live. And I preached this about 𝗧𝗍𝗻. I preached this about a couple games last week, but it's just awesome to see the progress in this industry, right? It used to be to where Star Atlas was fudded. They sold these overpriced ships, this and that. Well, the game is actually shaping up to be a AAA experience like advertised. So it's awesome to see, and definitely go hop into the showroom because it's just really cool to see these products actually coming to life, especially some of the biggest name products like 𝗧𝗍𝗻 and like Star Atlas. So really stoked to see the development of this industry becoming even more real. And what's more real than a partnership with Nike and EA Sports? So what's in the game? Only time will tell. EA Sports times SWOOSH. So as you see here, they tease football and they tease soccer. So EA Sports and Nike coming soon. So what does this exactly entail? Well, Nike NFTs could soon debut on FIFA or Madden potentially following this big EA partnerships. And the Nike NFTs will probably be integrated into the games. If you've taken a look at the SWOOSH project, so I'll just go over here, click on their profile, you can actually customize variations of different types of shoes and different types of Air Forces. So these are set right here. These are different ones that they've created, but there's actually a technology where you can completely customize your own Air Forces. So imagine the customizable gear inside of a Madden, inside of a FIFA. And why is this so big? Well, we see here for EA Sports during the 2021 fiscal year, the net revenue from content sales inside of EA Sports Ultimate Team game modes was $1.6 billion and was a substantial portion of which came from the FIFA franchise. So that's where you buy a pack and it is a random generated player that you just paid for, right? You pay, you get a card that you can use inside the game. But here's the big problem. You can't actually trade that card. You can't sell it to someone else. If you got a 𝗕𝗆𝗋𝗋𝗆𝗋 before he blew up a couple World Cups ago, doesn't matter. You can't sell it. It almost holds no actual monetary value in that regard. So if we saw NFTs potentially break into the Ultimate Team game mode, I mean, that would really be game changing, but I kind of see it as the customization factor. I could totally see customizable assets running into these ecosystems, customize your cleats, customize like jerseys for ultimate teams, potentially customize, like socks, anything like that, like helmets. You could totally see actual owned assets with the customization from Nike. And we see Ryan Wyatt here. The effects of Polygon are on fire. SWOOSH is building on Polygon, which is Nike. Now EA Sports titles will bring Nike's Polygon-based SWOOSH gear. See, so he's aiming that it's going to be a gear collaboration into the future of EA Sports games in a blockbuster integration. This is massive. This is the type of stuff that every single day here on this show, I am preaching to you. The NFT industry and the gaming industry will be the biggest head-on collaborative mashup in the future. And this is going to skyrocket in the future. Every mainstream game eventually is going to have NFTs inside of their games. I can guarantee it. And if EA Sports is moving towards it, the other companies, Epic's already looking into it. Epic's giving Web3 games a platform to launch on Epic Games. Steam has reversed their stance, and they actually have a royalty-based marketplace as well. It's all gearing up to be Web3 integrated. And this right here just reassures my confidence in the fact that NFTs and gaming are going to be the biggest industry to come out of Web3 in particular. So big shout out to Polygon, big shout out to Nike for getting involved, and big shout out to EA Sports for welcoming NFTs inside of their games. And I can tell you this, I haven't bought an EA Sports game in years because of the exact reasons that I just talked about. I would pay for cards. I would pay to buy Patrick Mahomes for my ultimate team. But guess what? I couldn't do anything with Patrick Mahomes after that physical year ended. So imagine if you can just bring any NFT elements into the game. So if you can customize that gear and potentially sell it, I mean, wow. The NFT integration here could be absolutely massive. And the implications of other businesses moving a little quicker to bring NFTs into their games could be very rapid if this succeeds. We could see every big major game start testing NFTs as soon as this year, potentially, right? I mean, a new Madden releases later this fall, a new FIFA, or it's not called FIFA anymore, but a new soccer game in the EA franchise launches again this fall. So this could be an immediate partnership that we see really groundbreaking for the NFT gaming space. So shout out to every party involved here. And I'm obviously so bullish on Polygon in the next bull run. So this is just another checkbox for Polygon that they are the trusted party to integrate these things for these businesses like Nike and EA Sports. We talked about this a couple shows ago that we had been really gearing up towards WWDC for the Metaverse initiative, right? And we've seen Metaverse going crazy, like Wilder-World's really getting a gist of the liquidity. We have Highstreet, which is still really rallying upwards. Well, the one sleeping giant in this whole thing was Mark Zuckerberg. He had a trick up of his sleeve, right? Trying to take a little bit of the shine away from what they're going to be doing and announcing Apple VR, Apple AR headset on June 5th. On June 1st, which is yesterday, they announced the Meta Quest 3. This was a big marketing rollout. They announced the Meta Quest 3. It's going to be for $500, which, I mean, compared to their previous price points is actually not that bad. This more lines up with a gaming console more than like this crazy overpriced tech that no one wants to use. So I feel like they are making it a little more affordable for the masses with this. $500 still is $500, but it's more in line with what an Xbox or a PlayStation costs. And it's definitely much less than what a high-level gaming PC costs, right? So Mark Zuckerberg sneaks in here, kind of steals the shine temporarily. This was huge. On the NBA Finals last night, they had this debut Meta Quest 3 commercial. So this is another catalyst that's giving the metaverse a lot of legs. Wilder-World has seen a lot of action here. We go down to the month chart from as low as 24 cents. And we've been calling this the whole time as the best metaverse experience in Web3 at this moment in time. I mean, this puts projects like Sandbox to shame. If you actually take a look at the graphics inside of this ecosystem, and a lot of people are like, well, we haven't gotten to play it. But from what I've seen, from what I've been told, from direct from inside the project, that's going to change very soon. And you're actually potentially going to be able to get your hands on this ecosystem sooner than later. We saw Frank, the head honcho here behind Wilder-World, teasing, are they doing something with Apple? VR, AR. And as we see here, Bart tweets, he says, to my knowledge, the last time we saw Wilder-World AR tech was in May of 2020. Since then, it's been a closely guarded secret as the development has continued to progress. I believe that when Wilder AR is revealed, the technology will be groundbreaking. It's been 3 years in the making here. So what if Apple AR, VR, what if they debut their AR technology with Apple? The breadcrumbs are kind of leading towards that. And as far as just a graphically aesthetic, pleasing environment, this fits right into what Apple would want to present. And I mean, I'm really excited to see if this is not a teaser, right? If he's really not just playing with us, right? I want to see if Frank's being legit here, if this is going to be a real integration. So definitely something to keep your eye on. And it has sent the price up quite a bit due to that Apple hype. You know, if Apple announces Wilder World, it's going to skyrocket even more. At this market cap, it's gone from an 80 million market cap to 112 million market cap, right? I do think there's still a little bit of growth here in the short term. Long term, this is going to be absolutely massive, but definitely risk correctly here. If you missed this entire pump from about 24 cents to 45 cents, that's about 100% move. I don't know that it's time to be FOMOing in unless it takes a little more of a significant dip before June 5th, whenever we see the big Apple AR VR reveal, which who knows? Could potentially have something to do here with Wilder World. So I'm definitely keeping my eyes on that, as it is my favorite metaverse project in the space. But awesome trade for anyone who caught this. You know, we've been preaching Wilder World was very undervalued. So shout out to anyone who caught that move, and shout out to anyone who caught these moves on Highstreet, right? I mean, we've been touting Highstreet this whole month as this metaverse narrative kind of is heating up, and we're seeing it in front of our eyes. This is like a retail, you know, shopping kind of metaverse experience. And I think it has a lot of, you know, I would say leverage on that side of the market. We've seen Walmart at one time tease metaverse shopping, and it looked absolutely garbage, right? They just had a big event in Monaco, was very successful. They unveiled some new visuals and trailers out there. So I'm really bullish on Highstreet as well. And this one's still at about an $80 million market cap. So this one still has a little bit to go to catch up to Wilder World's market cap. But I'm still bullish that this might still have some legs in it. But just like Wilder World, you know, we were down at $1.40. We're at about a 50% move here. So if you're jumping in now, just risk, you know, your risk reward ratio is definitely lower, and just please, your size on those you know, accumulations should be a little more moderate if you have missed this move. But once again, shout out to anyone who's caught that move this month. And now I'm seeing Vulcan Forged once again is undervalued in this metaverse narrative. When you look at Vulcan also saying, with Apple releasing their VR and Vulcanverse being the most complete metaverse in the blockchain space, you'd think Vulcan would have something up his sleeve. Well, he does. And we got almost to $4. It's taking a bit of a post-conference dip, which a lot of the things inside the conference were very bullish. I'm actually seeing this as a very undervalued metaverse play at this moment in time. And the other metaverse experiences that I would take a look for to catch some liquidity leading up to or after June 5th, if the announcement from Apple means that a lot of Web3 products are going to be integrated on Apple AR or VR, I would be looking at Everdome. I'd be looking at 𝗏𝗏𝗏. We called 𝗏𝗏𝗏 earlier this week. It's up 25% now for the week. So awesome movements there. Those would be a couple other ones, as well as 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 that I would look at in the metaverse sector. Let's move on to AI. You know, we talked about this last time, but the future capacity that AI is proving over and over again, and NVIDIA is showing off these non-player characters that can speak to you in real time, right? Real conversations. This is going to change the way that games are made and played for the, foreseeable future. AI is going to disrupt the gaming industry, maybe harder than any other industry out there. And I think the closest thing to NVIDIA out there that you can accumulate long-term is going to be render. When you look at the month chart, it's pumped quite a bit. When you look at the all chart with all-time highs of about 770 and still under a $1 billion market cap, and this is truly probably the NVIDIA of Web3, I would still be taking massive bets, especially on a long-term time horizon. And a lot of rumors out there are saying that Render is going to be, I don't know, maybe integrated with Apple AR/VR, the June 5th announcement. Render's very closely touted to be working with Apple or NVIDIA, etc. So I would definitely be accumulating this with a long-term time horizon, as this could end up being one of the biggest companies in Web3, just from a business perspective. We showed that they were working on the Bungie trailer for their Web3 game. Now, if you look at this, the frames from the Pudgy Penguins commercial, which was actually awesome, right? It reminded me of a version of Toy Story, but with the Pudgies. And Pudgy's one of the biggest NFT projects currently. Luca Nets has done a great job over there. But this was also rendered with Render, no pun intended. But these frames right here were done with Render. So they are being utilized already every single day in the space by some of the best projects in the space. I'm looking for massive long-term growth here for Render, as well as other AI protocols like Singularity. And we said this last show, but I can't help but be 100% positive that these market caps are peanuts as to what these AI crypto market caps will be whenever the bull run comes. It's just like gaming. I'm super bullish on gaming, that will be eventually $1 trillion market cap by itself, the gaming industry, right? Inside of Web3. I could totally see the AI industry eventually forming up that kind of a size, right? With Render, with Singularity, Ocean, Fetch, Covalent, all of these projects, they're fully diluted and their normal market caps. The only one that's over $1 billion is Render. And I would still be placing bets on Render long-term. So have a long-term time horizon on the AI stuff. But wow, I mean, when you look at the market cap growth here, these haven't seen a bull run. These tokens here with the AI narrative right in your face just haven't seen a bull run. So your AI portfolio should be with a long-term time horizon. These short-term swing trades for the metaverse are much more short-term, but I think you can come out on top in both ways. Just have a strategy. But the market cap here for AI is just too small for me. And I think that it's way undervalued. This is going to do many multiples whenever we get to that next cycle. So have a DCA portfolio and definitely accumulate those AI tokens. And then just to finish it off, for stuff that we're looking ahead to, we are waiting patiently for the GameSwift token drop. We want to see the airdrop. I've been doing all the challenges personally. I'm ready for the GSwift airdrop. They just integrated today with Arbitrum, and this is going to make their environment the most scalable and efficient environment for Web3 gaming yet. As you see here, they kind of go on about why this is going to be huge. But GameSwift kind of has this modular blockchain system where games can come in and make their own blockchain exactly how they want to make it, utilizing the tech, etc. So very bullish. They had a Polygon ZK EVM. Now they're integrating with Arbitrum. So the toolkit here for GameSwift is definitely stacking up. So I'm really bullish on that and excited for the GSwift token, just like I'm excited for the 𝗍𝗂𝗃 token. I think this is still not getting enough attention as a blockchain infrastructure SDK. They just partnered up with Meld, which is one of the best DeFi, decentralized finance, decentralized. I don't want to use the word banking, but if you're trying to find a trustworthy entity inside of DeFi, cross-chain lending, etc., it would be Meld. And 𝗍𝗂𝗃 just partnered up with them the other day on an integration. And this is going to kind of be like an Altura. I know I haven't talked about a lot of gaming tokens, but right now the gaming tokens aren't in that spotlight. And I'm trying to get you guys involved in the narratives that are really under a microscope right now. We have all the time in the world to get involved in these gaming tokens, right? The gaming narrative is still not really hitting those big pumps. Now, if we sit into some sort of a bull run, obviously we're going to see a huge gaming run. But I think these type of announcements with SWOOSH, and Polygon and EA Sports, those are just, once again, the breadcrumbs that are leading towards those huge announcements that are eventually going to bring blockchain gaming to the forefront. But I think in the short, mid to long term, the metaverse and AI are kind of more in the lens right now. but the long-term gaming is going to be the absolute biggest growth pillar. This right here reminds me of an Altura, which I'm so bullish on Altura. And let's just go take a look at the markets quickly before we close this out. If I can find my watch list. We're kind of seeing Bitcoin rally over the 24 hours, up 1.5%. Over the 1 hour, it's up about 0.5%. Everything here is green on my watch list for the most part. We're seeing WAGMI Games finally get some liquidity and finally get that pump that I think they deserve. Shout out to WAGMI Games. Their product goes live this summer. They have a big activation coming up as well. So up 55% this week. We've been saying all along, this is one of my favorite low cap tokens. So that's awesome to see. We have Wilder World up another 30% over the 7 days. We have 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, which we mentioned a couple shows ago, up 30% this week or 25%. We have Illuvium taking a move upward, Veracity, Magic, SuperVerse taking a move upward. So a lot of familiar faces and a lot of projects that we're super bullish on are getting a little bit of movement here with Bitcoin. And I think it's inevitable, the long-term growth of this industry, guys. So like the video down below, subscribe for more every single day here on Crypto Banter. Whether you're looking for gaming, AI, metaverse, trading, fundamentals, technical analysis, you can find everything you need right here on the channel. And I will see you guys on Monday. As always, play well, my friends.